What's up, y'all? Today gonna be doing something that I'm pretty excited about. As you know, I'm running the Falcon 205. I got the 205 TE. And I'm doing a little prop testing today. I've been running a 25-bit Scorpion prop on my boat this year. Wasn't really happy with what I was getting out of it. And Steven, thank you Steven at Falcon, he sent me a new prop. This is a PowerTech 24 pitch. And we're gonna try it out today, see if I can get a few more miles per hour. So I'm just gonna take this opportunity to kind of show you all my setups, show you what this boat does like performance-wise. I know that's a lot of questions for you folks out there that's looking to buy a Falcon. You wanna know, how fast does it go? Is it 72, is it 73, 74? We're gonna talk about a lot of that stuff today. I'm going to talk about how quick it planes, how good the boat corners. I'm going to show you some of the stuff I got rigged on my boat that I think makes it perform a little bit better, my preference in rigging on the 205. So let's walk over to the boat. I'll show you a little bit of stuff I got on it, and we'll take it on the water and let her snort. Talk a little bit about the setup here. So this is just a normal day of fishing. I've been out fishing today. I didn't take anything out of my boat. It's just like how it would be if I was fishing a tournament. You see I still got rods on the deck. I'm running 2 power poles. I got 4 graphs on here. I think I got about a little less than half a tank of fuel in here. This boat holds 50 gallons of fuel, so I'm probably running 22 gallons of fuel is what I got in here. Air temperature today is probably 75 or so, and the water temperature is 60, 65. I know that means a lot to some people because obviously the cooler the water is, the better that engine is going to breathe, the faster it is some days. So that just gives you some reference of what we're dealing with here. 250 ASHO on my 20-foot Falcon. The Falcon is 20 foot 5 inches. I always run the 20-footer because that's just what I like. Do whatever you want to with that. Dual power pole, 8-foot blades on the back. And I run a 8-inch hydraulic jack plate. Why do I use an 8-inch hydraulic jack plate? And a lot of times you hear people talk about hydraulic jack plates and how you can get in, access shallow water, so forth. That's true. That's not why I run a hydraulic jack plate. For me, I run a hydraulic jack plate because I have total control over the performance of my boat. All right. So you're going to see today, I'm going to show you how the boat performs and handles when I just lift the jack plate up an inch, a half inch, 2 inches. I can manipulate the way my boat handles weight. Obviously, if I've got another guy here and a lot of tackle, I can manipulate what the boat does with my hydraulic jack plate. So, TH Marine 8-inch hydraulic jack plate, 24 pitch PowerTech is what we got on here. One thing I like about my my boat this year, I've got the Garmin's, but I've got the ability, instead of me holding the camera, trying to show you how fast we're going today, I've got a screen in here in my settings where it will actually record my top speed. So what I'm gonna do is go to gauges, and then I'll go to trip. And you see I've got a bunch of different menus that pop up here. On the trip menu, got your trip odometer, got the just a regular odometer, and you got your moving average speed. You see I'll go real fast in my boat. I average 6 miles an hour in this boat. And then you got a maximum speed. Instead of me holding the camera up to the graph here, I'll be able to just look at my graph and tell you exactly the fastest speed I went. One thing I definitely like about my 205 with this setup right here, this prop seems to come out of the hole really well. Let me show you how fast this boat planes off. That's a real good hole shot. That's always important for getting out of shallow water. Just who wants a slow hole shot when it comes to fishing around? So you want to be able to get up and go as fast as possible. Now, so having a good top end, that's always great, but that's not where the story ends. Something else that I need to have this boat to do is corner wheel. I like to have a boat that handles very well. I mentioned to you, one thing that I always do is I always put a hydraulic jack plate on there because I can lift and lower that engine. If I need my boat to go a little bit faster and it's just me, I can do that with a hydraulic jack plate. I can jack my jack plate up, I can run my engine a little higher and get a little bit more speed. But if I've got a bigger person in here, or if I've got to carry more weight, live wheels full, gas tanks full, I got a little bit more gear than usual, then I can take my jack plate, bury that engine, get a little bit more grab out of the prop, and still get that top end speed that I need. The other thing, cornering. I like for my boat to corner very well. I'm going to try the cornering out in with this prop and see how it corners and see how it handles when I'm making really sharp, aggressive turns. That's really important when you're running creeks. Also, I fish here at home a lot still, and we have a lot of jet skis, ski boats, and a lot of times those guys don't really care how they drive. So I need to be able to, if I need to make a quick turn to miss a jet ski, I need to be able to do that. If I'm in the back of the creek, winding creek, I need to be able to have full control of my boat. I don't want it sliding out in the turn. So we're going to try that out now and see exactly how good the boat handles with that prop. So this one, I'm running the 250 SHO on this one. Last year boat, I had the Mercury Pro XS, the new 4-stroke. And they both run just about the same, to be honest with you. I would say that the Mercury seems to have a little bit better, a little bit more mid-range and top end. The Yamaha seems, the power band seems to flatten out a little bit faster. So, you know, what I'm saying is Yamaha, as soon as you give it a throttle, it's got from 0 to 60, it's got all the power in the world, and the power band seems to kind of flatten out once you get past 60, and it takes some time for it to build up the rest of its torque, where the Mercury seemed to have more punch on that mid-range to the last part of the power band, but definitely have more bottom end with the 250 show. What you want to do is run your engine as high as you can to create as less drag as you can and go fast as you can. That's what we're going to try to do. Jackplate, 3¼ inches. And we got 73.1. I'll show it to you here on my, let me show you, 73.1. You see right there on my graph, 73.1 is what we got it on that particular run there. Running my Jackplate. Let's see, that's at about 3¼ inches. I'm not sure if you can see it or not. 3¼ inches on the Jackplate. I want to see if we can't lift that up just a little bit higher, get a little bit more speed. So 73 miles an hour, no chine walk. Boat was super easy to drive. I didn't have any problems with it at all. We're going to lift up the Jackplate another 1/4 inch or so. 1/4 inch makes a big difference. So we're going to try that and see if we can get another mile an hour or two. I think we should be able to get somewhere around 74. That's definitely the problem. So let me give you a little background here. Shut my engine off. So before I change the prop, this is definitely the one. All right, this I'm totally happy. 74.4 is where I just got. To give you an idea how big a difference it made, how important your prop is on your boat and the performance. I was running somewhere between 65 to 68, depending on the day and the load and what I had in this boat. Switched out props. As I mentioned, a 25 Scorpion, what I was running, switched to a 24 PowerTech, 74.4. I mean, almost a 10-mile-an-hour difference just in changing props. So it's super important. Let me show you here, just in case you don't believe me. 74.4. I'm happy with that. That is one person, just me in here. One thing I did notice about this is the hull seems to carry weight pretty good, so it doesn't matter if I got 1 or 2 people in here. I really only drop a mile an hour or two, but look at this. Maximum speed right there, 74.4. I'm completely happy with that. So to give you guys an idea, so this one, I'm running the 250 SHO on this one. Last year boat, I had the Mercury Pro XS, the new 4-stroke, and they both run just about the same, to be honest with you. I would say that the Mercury seems to have a little bit better, a little bit more mid-range and top end. The Yamaha seems, the power band seems to flatten out a little bit faster. So, you know, what I'm saying is Yamaha, as soon as you give it a throttle, it's got from 0 to 60, it's got all the power in the world, and the power band seems to kind of flatten out once you get past 60, and it takes some time for it to build up the rest of its torque, where the Mercury seemed to have more punch on that mid-range to the last part of the power band, but definitely have more bottom end with the 250 show. But I'm super happy with that 74.4. That's all you can ask out of a boat this size, this big, with the width on it. It's probably got one of the widest beams in bass boat at 99 inches. So huge boat, a lot of weight. This is pretty much a tournament load I got in here running 74. That's all you can ask for.